What's up, you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're going to be chatting about something that's a little bit sensitive, so I really want everybody to chill. This is one of the subjects that I've actually talked about a lot during my streams, and that's kind of like the anxiety and outrage culture that surrounds Warframe, whether it's just Warframe or it's absolutely everywhere. Now, one of the big reasons that I wanted to approach this is because I've gotten a lot of questions about upcoming frames, Melee 3.0, like everything that has to do with the future of Warframe. And everybody is very much like, oh my god, so what's going to happen to Maiming Strike? Is it going to be terrible now? Is it going to be nerfed? What about Chroma? Are we going to have to get parts from all these vaulted relics? Like, everybody seems to be in this weird mental shape that they think everything is going to be absolutely terrible. And for me, especially being like a 5-year veteran to Warframe, and you know, I hate the term veteran because there's so much of a stigma around it. I mean, I'm proud to be a veteran. But even the word veteran carries around like some anxiety and some outrage. What makes you think you're better than anyone else? I'm like, chill. That's what we're trying to do today, because everybody seems to be so angry about everything, even things that have not happened yet. And a part of me is really kind of sad about that, and I'm wondering exactly where it's coming from. Because for me, at least from my personal experience with my history with DE, is they haven't done anything to kill the game. It's been 5 years. There are many other IPs out there that have literally flopped within months of their release. DE has always been working towards doing good things, making things better, and while there are certain things that will frustrate people in the name of balance, in the name of a good, healthy community, everything has pretty much kind of worked itself out. And that's one of the things that always frustrates me. So one of the things that I get asked about a lot is, oh, what about Equinox Prime? Do you think we're gonna have to farm 6 different parts for Equinox, yada yada yada, so on and so forth? And a part of me is like, probably not, but at the end of the day, if we do have to farm 6 parts for Equinox, you never know, DE might legitimately make them all common drops, except for maybe a blueprint or 2. So part of me is kind of like, why are you so paranoid? I'm sure that DE will find a way to do everything fairly. Or, here's the thing, if they fuck up, they will find a way to make it a little bit easier. Because that's kind of like what DE is notorious for doing, is like, we're gonna make things a little bit easier for you guys so it's not absolutely terrible. The same thing goes for things like Maiming Strike, and I understand that certain player types will be really paranoid about it, especially when it's kind of like people who love to sell things on the market. They're like, what's the price going to be this day? What's the price going to be that day? But you market people, you're a whole different breed that I cannot relate with. Literally, I don't sell anything. I just keep everything for giveaways on YouTube. So I'm very sorry that I can't be a part of that. But the thing about it is, if you're a smart market person, you'll get the feeling as to when you should sell things. So I'm gonna trust that you're gonna know what's best for your platforming business. But me personally, when I see things like, okay, what's gonna happen with Maiming Strike? In my head, the first thing that I think about is, oh, I hope DE makes it more interesting. I hope that it's not, oh wait, am I saying Maiming Strike? I am saying Maiming Strike, right? The slide with the crits and all of that kind of stuff. I'm sure there'll be like really cool things that they've got in the plans for it, and if it's not cool straight out the gate, we can always leave DE feedback. That's the same thing that goes for Naramon. Like I had mentioned in my previous video, Naramon is pretty much what I run with. Like, I know some of y'all out there with less energy efficient builds, or you know, I don't mean to hate on you guys, I'm just poking and prodding for troll's sake. But legitimately, some of you guys who run Xenuric and are like, Xenuric's the only thing that I can run because your builds are bad. I'm kidding. Maybe not. But literally, like, people are like wondering, well, what's going to happen to Naramon? What's going to happen with the combo system? I'm sure DE will figure something out. It's not going to be that terrible. And the thing that kind of like resonates at its very core is this air of paranoia and this air of just anger. Like, and I don't understand why there's so much anger and like paranoia or anxiety invested in something that hasn't happened yet. Like, wait till it comes out, and if it's terrible, then say something about it then. But I feel like a lot of this emotion is kind of built up and sitting in our systems well, not my system. My system is fine. But like sitting in a lot of people's systems where they get this kind of like boiling and bubbling underneath the surface. Well, if DE does this, then it's fucked, and then I'm screwed, and then it's gonna be terrible, and blah, blah, blah. It's a game. You need to chill out. You need to take the level down. It's not like you're gonna get an arm chopped off, or it's not like you're gonna magically contract diabetes or something because of the fact that DE changed a mod. And I feel like I really need to put that into perspective for like the mental health of a lot of people, because I find that some people get very, very invested in Warframe. And don't worry, I'm invested in it too. I've got 5 years of investments in Warframe. My channel is literally invested in Warframe. So if you guys don't think that I care about what's good for Warframe, y'all crazy. But what I'm very, very sure about is DE's always doing their best to make good on the game that they're delivering. And I always kind of like, and maybe that's just what it is with my specific mindset, is like I don't understand the paranoia, and I don't understand the outrage and the anger, because I mean literally Love Nothing. If you guys have not watched that editorial that I did ages ago, I'll definitely link it. Love Nothing, don't get attached to anything. It's a video game, chill the fuck out. But some people, I don't know, I almost feel like the video game defines some people like at their core, and they're like, if they change this, then who am I? What am I doing with my life? I'm like, it's a video game, just play a different character. You'll find a new loadout, don't worry. The min-maxers are out there. We'll whip out our Warframe builder, we'll do a little calculations, we'll test in the simulacrum, we'll do like a 2-3 hour survival, whatever, chill. It's not really that big a deal at all. Like, you don't need to stress about it. And I'm curious to see what you guys think about this next thing. I almost want to put it out to you guys. Do you think that maybe they're newer players that have been coming from different games? And let's be real. There are some games companies out there that will fuck you over, and they don't even care. They do not even care. They'll fuck you over, and then you'll be frustrated, and you'll continue to play the game, trying to salvage what you got left. Then they'll stop supporting it. Then boom, you got no more game, and they've launched Destiny 2. I'm just kidding. I know that some people are sensitive about that, but you know what I mean, right? It's kind of like there are some shitty game companies out there that will really screw over their players, but DE hasn't had that kind of history, and I'm wondering if it's maybe other players coming from those games that are literally having that experience when those developers, and then they come here to like a developer that treats them good, and they're like paranoid. It's kind of like when someone gets out of a really bad relationship with somebody that cheated on them and verbally abused them, and they get in a good relationship with like good people, and they're like, I'm just here to take care of you, to make you feel better. Like, what are you plotting? What are you planning behind the scenes? I know you're seeing someone else. And it's kind of like, I'm like, chill. It's not like that here. Don't blame the sins of your ex on your new boyfriend slash girlfriend slash beautiful in between friend. It's one of those things. So I'm wondering if maybe that's an issue for it, or potentially. And this is gonna be where it gets a little bit dicey, because I'm gonna say some things that might trigger a few people. But maybe do you think that it's a mental health issue? And I'm not saying that it's, you know, it's specific to gamers, even though we do have to admit that gaming does attract certain types of personalities, especially when you want to like escape and you want to get away from the real world, or maybe the real world has a lot of stress, so you've got things that you need to blow off in like a digital sense. Blow off in a digital sense. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. But literally, maybe it's kind of like a certain mentality that it's attracted to the video game world, and that those personality types tend to lean towards the you know, the just overtly like outrageous and completely paranoid. I'm not sure. Me personally, again, it's not an experience that I've had. I do get a little worried from time to time. I'm like, oh, so you're gonna rework Titania? I'm like, I like Titania though. But would you plan it like it's a tweak, right? It's a tweak. It's not like a rework. It's just a tweak. That's all you're doing, right? We're good. And that's kind of like, you know, I have those moments, but it's never like I'm like on the forums, I'm like leaving comments, I'm like going to like people's streams and saying, "What would you do? What do you think about this? Isn't this terrible?" Like that's never, I would never take it that far because I don't, like, it's not that serious. Like, we'll deal with it when it comes. So I'm wondering if it's maybe one of those two causes, or maybe here's just the reality of things. Maybe this is just the way that the world is currently going, because we see things like with our president, we see things with social media, we see things on the news, and everything is kind of built to be outrageous. You know, the media will sell so much because the more outrageous the story, the more people are going to want to click on it, more people are going to like purchase magazines or newspapers or whatever. Same thing goes for just the internet in general, whether it's YouTube videos. Like, we already know that in Warframe there is definitely a culture of content creators that like to hate bait. Like, they'll put out the most negative possible video title, hoping to attract a certain kind of audience. And it's like, you know, so I don't know if it's maybe just the state that the world is currently in. I'm very curious to see what you guys think, because a lot of it, and I've been blamed about it in the past, about being, oh, why do you always come for attack someone personally instead of dealing with the issue themselves? And I'm like, sometimes because I believe the root of the problem is with the person and not with the actual issue. Sometimes the issue is the issue, and sometimes the person is the issue. And I find that a lot of the times the person is the issue, because I can perceive something and find it completely innocuous, while somebody else can perceive it and they can just table flip. Just throw everything in the air and say, "I'm done with this game." Regardless, let me know how you feel about what I've said down in the comments below. Do you see this outrage culture and this anxiety culture and paranoia culture that rests within Warframe? Is it just here? Is it in other games? Do you see it permeating everywhere else? There's definitely certain places like politics that I see it permeating a lot, but is it just this game? Is it maybe just a few other games? Toss that in the comments below and share your feelings, and most importantly, share some chill vibes, because for me, I see the future of Warframe as it's ever changing. There's going to be new things, there's going to be new systems that are added in, they're going to shake up old systems. Is it perfect? No. Is it ever going to be perfect? No, because no one game is going to be perfect for a mass, you know, market of people. So I just look at it as there's some great things that I love about it, there's some things that I don't like about it, and the things that I don't like about, usually, you know, maybe I'll put out a video on them, but I won't ever kind of like blow my lid. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.